So as you can see that I have laid down all the parts that we need to assemble. Now we are going to approach this one by one and without any hassle. So first, these are the bases. Can you see? These are the bases on which you can set the Raspberry Pi, on which we are going to set this Raspberry Pi. Let me take this out of the chip. So, out of the case, sorry, let's leave the case over there. So as you can see, this is the Raspberry Pi 4B, and this has to be set up on this board in a fashion, as you can see. So before doing that, you can see that the markings are not that clear. It's very, it's very blurry because this is a film applied on this thingy. You can tear this film off and it will come off to give a more transparent look to your entire structure. So we tear off the film from both the sides, and now you can see that it has become much more transparent and clear. As you can see, Raspberry Pi and Raspberry Pi. So there are two ways in which we can fix the Raspberry Pi. We can fix the Raspberry Pi like this, we can fix the Raspberry Pi like this, or we can fix the Raspberry Pi like this, however you want. First, let me peel off all the other boards. You'll have to bear with me a moment. So we have these 4 transparent bases on which we are going to set our Raspberry Pi using these boards. Now, if you look at the first page in the instructions that were provided, it says that there are copper bolts which need to be fixed using the normal bolts. So there are copper bolts which need to be fixed using the normal bolts for us to create a base. Then after knowing about this, you need to also know about this component. So this is like a memory card emulator. So what it will do is you can plug this inside of your Raspberry Pi's original SD card reader in a particular fashion. So if you try to insert it like this, it won't go in. If you try to insert it like this, it won't go in. It has to be inserted like this, because the SD card has to go inside the Raspberry Pi in some symmetry. So in that own symmetry, this thing will fit, and you can see the holes have aligned. If I turn, then you can see the holes have disaligned. Now finally the holes have aligned properly, and this has been fixed inside of this Raspberry Pi. So now you have the access to the SD card port also through using this chip. Looks cool, right? And now we're supposed to fix this entire thing onto this board in a certain symmetry, obviously. So it can be like this, because here is where I can find all the holes are aligning, or you can shift it a little also if you want it to be at a different position. You can opt in for a different position as well, or a little bit to this side. I think this position is better because it provides me symmetry to it. It's like kind of at the center, and here is where all the holes align. So we are going to choose this position. Now what do is we simply open this box, we take this and we insert it. Now the first would be the first instinct would be why it's small. It's not going. It's not coming out, as you can see. So it is small. So this is what the instructions were for. This will not be attached like this. You'll have to provide a base first. So this will go inside like this. Then you'll take a smaller bolt. You'll take a smaller bolt, and then you will just put it inside of this like so. Oh, sorry. What am I doing like this? Like so. So if you see this, this is how. I don't think you can see. This is what they mean. This is what they mean. This is how the joint works over here. These are easily screwable, but and you don't want them to be super tight because it's not meant to be super tight. So we do this with all the other positions that we want the elevation and the bolt to be at, so that we can actually attach this Raspberry Pi. So we just take this, and then we would simply just put the Pi in these holes, so it is a little tight. That means now for loosening it, you'll obviously need some kind of wrench or a screwdriver. Just be mindful of that. Just loosen it a little bit and it will go in, and then you can tighten it all you want. So now you can see that we have installed Pi on the board. In a similar fashion, we'll do this for all the other three boards. So earlier we missed this bolt. There's supposed to be 5 bolts, not 4. So I did it for one board, and now I'm going to show you how to do it with this board. So as you can see that over here there are only 4 bolts. So the 5th support bolt is missing. The 5th support bolt is missing, as you can see the difference between the 2 bolts. So I'm going to just remove this from the board again, because we have not bolted anything. So this also helps. Once you are sure about your so this side is up. So I'm supposed to put a bolt over here also. As you can see, 5 bolts. Same with the older bolt also. Slowly we are going to remove this okay, so it is out. Slowly we are going to remove this from this case, and we are going to check which was the position. This was the position, right? So we need a bolt over there. We need a bolt over here also. So the bolts can be loose a little So now you can fix the Raspberry Pi in place. Now you can see that if it's not going in, again I'm telling you, don't put more pressure, just loosen the bolt a little bit and it will go in. You'll see just you have to loosen the bolt, that's it, and then you can tighten it back again and it will just stay in place. This time you will see that it will add more stability to everything and everything will just become unmovable and it becomes firm and fixed very soon. So now we fix the third board as well onto the base. As you can see, everything has been fixed into place properly. Now comes the nuts. So I'm going to use these nuts, as you can see, because we have so many bolts and these are the ones that fit. So it's obviously not this one. So I'm going to take out 5 3s, 15 of these nuts. And you don't need to screw them all. It's just that we want it to stay in place, right? So it's not required that you know tighten every bolt, because then if you have to take it out for some reason or something like that, then it will become too tight. So for now we will just choose the easy locations and just tighten those bolts so that it is easier for us to open it if we want to, because this much is enough. Like, it will not move now. You can't, it will not move in any way unless and until you just throw it in. If it is not meant to be thrown. So that is that. You can leave it like this, or you can go around and just tighten every bolt, but that will just make your job more tedious. It's not required. And this will also cause loss, as you can see. If any of this any of the bolt loses, you'll have to buy them new from the supplier or wherever, Amazon or eBay, whatever. So we'll just tighten 2 bolts, because that should be more than enough to make it stay in place. That is our objective. We want to have maximum control with minimum amount of damage possible to the unit, because this is very sensitive, and that is why we are doing this in the first place, to make it stick properly. So if you want to tighten this, then you can tighten this bolt also, and it will never go. It will never ever leave unless and until some kind of external pressure has been applied or force has been applied that it is not meant for. So again, the side location, we will screw 1 bolt over here. As you can see, in some videos professionals might use other type of equipment, but because I don't have that kind of equipment, I'm showing you a very frugal setup of Kubernetes at home. You would not have to pay a dime and a penny to any of the cloud providers, and your computer will be your own, your data will be secure and everything. You can tighten this, and it's not going anywhere, as you can see. It's not going anywhere, anything is not moving, as you can see. Now comes the interesting part. So I don't need this. Now comes this base that we're supposed to work with. Now, just as that, this is also wrapped in some plastic, which you can take off very easily. Once comes off, then you will see the gloss and the finish. S2PI, S2Pi, that's S2Pi. So this is the base. Okay, and where's the second base? These are the SD cards. This is the second base, on which also we can take out the film. Now pay attention, guys. You see these slots and you see these joints that are coming out. This is just meant to go in. Like so. It's like a cassette that has gone in. Now you can see. So you can see the joint, the way it'll, stay in place. So as you can see, the way it'll stay in place. This is the joint, my friends. You can see. This way it'll stand straight. This is the back. This is the front where fan will be. This is the back. Sorry, this is the front where the fan will be, and this is the back where all the connections will go. So be careful again. So put it like this. Okay. There goes the second cassette. Sorry. So you have to be careful with these. There goes the second Pi. And here is the third Raspberry Pi. And you can see that we have a mini subwoofer. Now it's fidgety. Why it's fidgety? Because this has not gone on top of it right now. This has to go on top of it. Once you have to be mindful of the directions. Once this goes, the entire structure will be clear to you, my friends. How cool this is looking, my friends. All of the micro SD card readers and everything is place. Now, one thing that I'm observing is you can see that the Ethernet ports are not correctly aligned. Means that one of our Raspberry Pis, Raspberry Pi 4, my friends. That is why the Ethernet ports. Let me see. There we go. This is how it will be. And now the structure goes. As you can see, the Pi 5s have Ethernet ports on the left side, and the Pi 4 that is in the center has the Ethernet port on the right side. And now this is where the fan will be, my friends. This fan wires will be connected to the Raspberry Pis controller GPIO pins, like input output pins, and then input output pins. And this is how stuff will work. So after making the body of the entire Raspberry Pi cluster, we are going to attach this fan, the cooling fan. Now don't underestimate this is very required. So you have to be careful. There are two sides to this fan, one with this thermal padding and one without it. So you have to mount these brackets. So we got this handles and these brackets along with it. So we have to mount these brackets like so, on this. And how will this stay now, you might ask? So what do we have 4 of? I know we have 4 of this, but can I apply this over here? No, right? We need the long ones to go in and hold this in place, right? So we'll use these long pins. But before that, obviously we enjoy the peeling. We have been doing it for some time now. We can peel it off. Peel off the sticker so as to make it completely transparent. And so go like this and like this. So before doing that, let's see that how will this fit. So it is fitting these brackets, my friends. So we'll add more rigidity to the structure, my friends. You have to be careful about that. So the holes are proper. The brackets are proper, just need to stay in place. For that we'll simply insert this, it will come out on the other side, and then we will bolt it shut, I guess. These we will need the bigger bolts to make it stay in place. Again, I'm using my hands and this screwdriver, which you can also use to tighten it. So hold it a little. You don't need to tighten it so much also. So just to make it stay in place, that's it. Because it's related to the fan, so we would not take any chances with it. Get proper stability and use all the pins, all the bolts, sorry. And so you can see this is tight enough, I think. It is not coming out. That's it. And the other one. Everything has been counted and given to you already, so that you don't have to worry and you don't have to look anywhere else. First rotation, this is hectic without proper equipment, but I'm telling you again and again that you don't require any type of extra equipment to actually assemble this. It's easily doable by hand, as I'm showing you. This is the fourth and the last pin. also been. Now these thermal pads will ensure that there is no movement or noises when this fan is rotating. This is what this thermal padding is for, and as you can see it is very effective. Now we can simply in these two plugs kind of thing. So this pins have to be, have to have their space to move. Just put it in, and okay, so sometimes you can make a mistake in this. I think maybe too tight, so it needs to just have a little bit of positioning is required, so that it actually fits in properly. So you can see that the fan has also been fit properly. Now simply we will add this thing. Now you have to be careful that all of the firstly we ensure that the fan brackets are at their place. Obviously it will not just snap into place. You'll have to use your fingers and move the bases and everything around until it snaps into place. But eventually it will go. So this is a little bit time consuming part where have to pay some attention to the grooves there are. So as you can see, the third went in. Now for the second will also go, and for the first, and for this. So you can see that all of the grooves have been placed in position, and now this entire structure can stand like so. You have to be careful and hold it properly so that it doesn't fall off. But yeah, this is your structure of the cluster. Now it should be simple. We'll use these rods to actually a little bit of positioning will also fuck up things. Things will fall down like that, my friends. So we would have to arrange it again then. This time I have this already attached, so that when I attach this, I have something to actually bolt it shut so that it doesn't move from its place, and I don't have to do this all over again. So just use my methodology over here and try to bolt it shut so that it doesn't move. Our objective is to get it to not move from its place once we set it. So we have set it again, as you can see. This time you can see that It's not staying again. Okay. And it would not stay that easily, so you would have to force the joints a little, not too much. Just be careful with the equipment, because this is sensitive equipment with like almost no warranty or something like that. So once it is in place, you'll see that this is yearning for a bolt so that it stays in place. This part, can you see this now? Again, what does your logic suggest? Which bolts do we need? Which bolts do we have 4 of? Which bolts does seem like it will fit? These bolts. We have its screwdriver also, and we will tighten this bolt in its place. Now it's going in place, my friends. But obviously one would not suffice, so we'll have to put in more, so we put in the second also. So we put in the second also, and we just tighten this bolt also. To play around with a little bit, but this is how the 2 joints would work and make it a little bit sturdy to begin with. Now it would be nice to just have all the so it got a little bit of mispositioned, so you will have to correct the alignment a little bit so that it can actually what we'll do is we put in a bolt. So that no, exactly. So whatever it will self-align itself. Until this point, you'll know most about how to what is missing, what joint was missing or something like that, some small stuff. If you have reached this point in the video, then you will definitely know how to correct the small stuff that might not be that might not be in the correct direction by now. You might so these are the fan wires and these are the LEDs, so just be careful with them, and so that we can attach them. So I have attached 3 of these rods, which has provided a lot of stability, but even one of them not attached would cause an issue. So let's just be careful and light-handed with it. There goes the last of best way is to just have a screw around it. Once it catches it, then you can tighten it all you want. Once it catches it, then you can tighten it to the point it goes. Don't over tighten it because it could break. This thing is very, rigid and not flexible that much. It's not that flexible. It's not that break resistant. It's very rigid. First of all, it's not like silicone or something. This is like hard plastic, so it can break easily if it cannot, bear that kind of impact. But yeah, this is the finished version, I think. Obviously it needs to be, as you can see, we have ports for everything. So for HDMI, you can see that we have access to all the ports individually, and for the back end, on the back you can see we have access to the Ethernet ports. So these are the Raspberry 5s, and this is the Raspberry Pi 4. So we can see Pi 5 and Pi 4. Looks good. One last thing, the handle is left, for which we need 2 small screws. And what do we have 2 of? We have exactly the 2 amount of screws we need, which will go in like this. One over here and over here, my friends. We'll take this last bolt and we'll put it in. Let's go, my friends. And then you can tighten it so that it stays. There you have it, my friends. The Geek Pi cluster assembled properly in its format, how it's supposed to be, with 3 Raspberry Pis on board. Obviously we need a 4th also. You can adjust it however you want. Thank you. Finally, when you get it working, it will look something like this. Where here are your Raspberry Pis attached, fan rotating, the LED lights and everything working. So you can see. One of the drawbacks, my friends, beware. You cannot attach a PO hat, a power over Ethernet hat, or an extra SSD on your Raspberry Pi using this. So beware if you want to buy, because you can see there is no space for the PO hat to be attached. There is no space for the PO hat to be attached, but it looks kind of cool. If you're using it without PO hat like right now, then obviously it will be fine. But I don't think it has a lot of space for any type of Raspberry Pi extensions. So mind you, this will not let you upgrade your Raspberry Pi.